Hello and welcome to the Jerusalem Post Election Arena. We are joined here by Yuval Steinitz, Minister of Intelligence and one of the ministers closest to Netanyahu. Thank you for being with us.
Pleasure.
Yesterday, in a meeting with Likud ministers and members of Knesset, Netanyahu said that he wants you to stand up to the press. Is the media in Israel out to get Netanyahu and try to prevent him from getting reelected?
Well, the media was always in favor or more in favor of the Israeli left. And the relations between the media and Netanyahu are not that good. This is well known. You open the newspapers, even this morning, except one, Israel Hayom, all the newspapers are not...
In Hebrew.
All the newspapers are not seems too enthusiastic to support Netanyahu. This was an understatement, of course.
Do you seriously believe that if Netanyahu is not re-elected prime minister, that Israel will be destroyed or go through a very serious security situation?
I think it might be dangerous. First, because if, unfortunately, Bougie and Tzipi are running the country, I don't think they can handle the Iranian nuclear issue like Netanyahu. Actually, Netanyahu is the spearhead, the global spearhead of the struggle against nuclear Iran. And I do afraid that immediately they will agree to pull back, to withdraw from the West Bank, from Judea and Samaria. And in few months' time, maximum a year or two, we might have Al-Qaeda or Hamas or ISIS sitting in immediate proximity to Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, the coastal plain. This will be the final result of such an arrangement. I think that Bougie and Tzipi have no understanding, no experience, and no determination to handle Israel security and our strategical needs.
Well, Iran has certainly been the signature issue of Netanyahu for 20 years, and yours as well. But during the time that Netanyahu has been prime minister, Iran has rapidly expanded its nuclear program. How can Israelis feel safe if he's failed on the issue that he and you see as the most critical?
I think it's exactly the contrary. Iran might have developed nuclear weapons long time ago. And I'm not going to elaborate on some things, but let's take politics. The fact that Iran is suffering from devastating economic sanctions, unparalleled economic sanctions, is mainly due to Netanyahu efforts, first to convince the U.S. Congress, then the U.S. administration, and then the whole world, the UN Security Council, to tackle this problem, to take it seriously, and to put such tough sanctions on Iran that forced Iran into the table at first place. Now, even in the interim agreements that we didn't like, we managed to put some remedies, some corrections, like, for example, the dismantling of the medium level of uranium in Iran. They gave up the medium enriched uranium in Iran, and I hope that that Iran will not be able to remain a threshold nuclear state. I can tell you that we have some impact on the P5+1. It's not that we can dictate our positions, but already they put some requests to Tehran that were not there without the Israeli involvement.
Okay, so let's turn to Netanyahu's planned trip to Washington that's been so controversial. It's planned for 2 weeks before the election in Israel. Yesterday, Democratic senators who were seriously considering voting to put more sanctions on Iran started saying that now they won't because of Netanyahu's visit. Has the planned visit already backfired?
I don't think so. Netanyahu, by the way, I was very careful not to recommend to senators and congressmen to vote for this or that bill, but to speak generally about the Iranian threat and about our concerns from some developments in the ongoing negotiation. I'm confident that Netanyahu's speech to the Congress, which is maybe the most influential forum in the world that one can speak to, might create an impact on not just on the United States of America, but also on the other members of the P5+1 and on the international community, to warn them once again that it's not enough to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, but you should prevent Iran from becoming a threshold nuclear state, from being that close to nuclear weapons. And therefore, I think it's very important that Netanyahu will use this invitation to speak not just to America, but through Congress to the entire world, and to warn the world once more not to sign a bad deal with Iran.
Okay, so we're going to end with the yes or no questions that we ask every politician, and we ask you to answer just yes or no.
This is very difficult for a philosopher, but I'll do my best.
Is Abbas a terrorist?
Abbas is educating for terrorism, inciting for terrorism, although he is not a terrorist himself.
Return to pre-67 lines?
Disaster. This
Just
might
no.
bring Al-Qaeda or Hamas into immediate proximity with Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Trading Umm-el-Fahim for Palestine?
The Arab citizens of Israel are citizens of Israel. Both Umm-el-Fahim and Ariel should remain forever part of Israel.
Dividing Jerusalem?
This will inflame
Just
the
say no.
entire Middle East. Of course, no. This might, I heard that Tzipi is saying, Tzipi was saying that this is conceivable, that this might be the solution. I tell you, we should never divide our capital, Jerusalem, and if somebody will do this, this will enable Hamas and jihadist forces to inflame the entire Middle East from Jerusalem.
Is Labor an anti-Zionist party?
Many people in Labor are anti-Zionist or at least post-Zionist. If somebody is saying that the Tikva is racist song, or that we shouldn't send our children to defend our country to the IDF, this is not Zionism.
In Air Force One for Israeli prime ministers?
I heard all the criticism. This is something vital. And
so yes.
Yeah, of course.
Civil marriage?
See, I think that in Israel, as a Jewish state, it should be according to the Jewish tradition or Jewish religion.
Gay marriage?
We have to find the right solution to enable gays to live together as they wish, but in the framework of a Jewish state.
Public transportation, Shabbat?
I would leave any municipality to decide whether they want public transportation or not.
Supermarkets open on Shabbat?
Against.
And last but not least?
Shabbat should remain our day of rest. And this is a Jewish tradition, a Jewish gift to the entire world, and we should keep it in Israel.
And last but not least, having Sunday be a day off from work?
I think this will be damaging to the economy. We have to be very careful not to make mistakes. It should be thoroughly examined before we decide on such a step.
Thank you, Minister Steinitz, for being part of our Jerusalem Post Election Arena. Next week, we'll have more candidates speaking about the pressing issues of our election. Thank you for being with us.